Hello, little dreamer. I'm Lulu, the Little Lamb, and I'm so happy to tell you a story tonight. The day is done, the stars are waking, and the world is getting quiet. It's the perfect time to close your eyes and step into a land of wonder. In this special place, the moon shines softly, the wind whispers kindly, and every dream begins with a gentle story. Are you ready to go on a magical journey? A journey where your heart feels safe, your mind becomes calm, and your imagination can fly like a feather on the breeze? Then snuggle up in your bed, pull the blanket close, take a long, deep breath in, and let it out slowly. Close your eyes now, little one, and let's begin. Lulu and the cloud that couldn't float. It was a gentle morning on the dream meadow. The dew still clung to each blade of grass like tiny stars. Birds sang sleepy melodies, and the sky stretched wide above, soft blue, endless and slow. Lulu, the little sheep, stood on her favorite hill, watching the clouds drift across the sky. She loved clouds. She loved the way they moved like they had nowhere urgent to be. She loved how some looked like cotton candy, others like sailing ships, or the puff of a dandelion just blown. But today, one cloud caught her attention. It wasn't in the sky. It was on the ground. Nestled low near the edge of the forest, tucked between two mossy trees, there sat a small gray puff. It trembled slightly and sagged into the grass like a sad balloon that had lost its air. Lulu blinked. That's not where clouds usually go. She trotted closer, her hooves making soft thuds on the earth. The cloud didn't move. She sat beside it, quiet for a moment. Then she whispered, "Hello." The cloud sniffled. "I know," it murmured. "I shouldn't be here." Lulu tilted her head. "Why not?" "Because I'm a cloud," it said in a muffled, soggy voice, "and clouds are supposed to float." Lulu didn't answer right away. She looked up. High above, other clouds floated lazily by. "Well," she said carefully, "maybe you're just resting." The cloud made a sound between a sigh and a whimper. "I'm not resting. I'm stuck. I've forgotten how to be light." The little cloud quivered, like its fluff was barely holding together. "I didn't mean to get like this," it whispered, "but I kept holding things no one else wanted. I thought I was helping." "What kinds of things?" Lulu asked softly. The cloud hesitated. "All the little feelings," it said at last, "the ones people don't say out loud, the thoughts they try to push away, the quiet tears they hide in pillows. I caught them. I held them. I thought if I just carried them long enough, maybe they would disappear." It paused. But they didn't. They just got heavier. Lulu was quiet. The air around them felt still, like the whole world had stopped to listen. "That sounds really hard," she said at last. "It is," said the cloud. "I don't even remember what it felt like to float." Lulu looked at the trees, their branches swaying gently above. The sunlight spilled through the leaves in soft golden threads. "Would it help," she asked gently, "if you didn't have to hold it alone?" The cloud didn't answer right away. "Maybe," it whispered, "but I wouldn't even know where to begin." Lulu stood. "Come with me," she said. "Let's walk somewhere quieter, and maybe we begin there." They wandered together, Lulu on the ground, the cloud drifting just above the grass, not quite floating, not quite dragging, just barely rising. They passed a sleepy fox curled in its den, a line of ants carrying crumbs, and a breeze that hummed like a lullaby. At the edge of the forest, they reached a glade filled with wildflowers. The wind was soft, the sun filtered through in golden dapples. Lulu lay down. The cloud settled beside her. "Whenever you're ready," she said. And the cloud began. It didn't tell stories with words, not at first. It released them. Small curls of mist, wisps of sadness, breathy trails of memory. Lulu watched as each little cloudlet lifted upward and melted into the air. There was a breath that had never been exhaled from fear, a thought that had circled and circled and never found a way out, a smile worn like a mask for too long. And with each release, the cloud grew just a little smaller, a little rounder, a little more itself. "I didn't know how much I was holding," it said quietly. "Most of us don't," Lulu replied. Night slowly arrived, wrapping the glade in a soft violet hush. The stars peeked through the folds of the sky, and the air took on that gentle stillness that only comes when the world is about to sleep. The little cloud now hovered just above the ground. It pulsed faintly, as if its very shape breathed. "I feel different," it said. "Lighter?" Lulu asked. "Yes," it said, "but not empty, just not so full of things that aren't mine." Lulu smiled. Then the cloud whispered, "Would you like to come with me, just for a while? I'd like to try floating again." Lulu blinked. "Can I?" "You've helped me remember how," it replied. "So maybe, together, we remember more." The cloud rose slowly, and Lulu climbed atop it gently. She had never ridden a cloud before. It felt like being held by mist and dreams. They floated above the meadow, over the tops of sleeping trees, across moonlit fields. The world below glowed faintly, and above them the stars blinked, slow and kind. They soared in silence, drifting between clouds that hummed in their sleep. "Where are we going?" Lulu asked quietly. "I don't know," said the cloud, "but I think it's where the heavy things go when they're ready to become light." They rose higher, where the sky darkened to deep indigo, and everything felt vast and still. And then they saw it. A quiet place above the clouds where nothing rushed, nothing demanded. A great ribbon of soft silver mist stretched across the stars. It shimmered not with light, but with memory. "What is this?" Lulu whispered. "A path," the cloud replied, "woven from every goodbye a cloud has ever whispered." They drifted along the ribbon. Lulu felt tears prick her eyes, not from sadness, but from something deeper. Awe, peace, something unnameable. They floated until they reached a great stillness. No stars, no sound, only breath. And in that space, the cloud said, "There's something I need to leave behind." Lulu sat silently, listening. And then the cloud released one final, shimmering wisp of mist. It sparkled gently, then vanished. "What was that?" Lulu asked. "A part of me I no longer need to carry," it said. As the last wisp disappeared into the quiet, the cloud felt weightless, not empty, not hollow, just still. "Thank you," it whispered. Lulu placed a hoof over her heart. "You did the hard part. I just stayed." And that, the cloud seemed to say with its silence, had been everything. They began their descent slowly, past stars that pulsed like sleepy heartbeats, past clouds that had turned translucent with age and memory, past the hush of winds that carried dreams. The world came back into view, rivers like ribbons, trees like whispers, the dream meadow glowing with moonlight. As they reached the edge of the meadow, Lulu climbed down. She stepped onto the grass and looked up at her companion. "You're floating," she said. The cloud shimmered. "I think I always could. I just forgot." "Then promise me something," Lulu said gently. "Anything. Promise to float slowly and to rest when you need." The cloud gave a quiet laugh, soft as mist. "I promise." Lulu curled up in her favorite patch of clover, the stars above blinking kindly. The little cloud hovered above her for a while longer, watching the sheep who had helped it remember itself. Then, without a sound, it turned and drifted higher, rising gently into the night. Not to escape, but to continue. And just before Lulu's eyes closed, she whispered, "Even the softest things can be strong. Even the heaviest hearts can rise." High above, the cloud shimmered once more, not with light, but with peace, and vanished into the sky that had waited for it all along. Thank you so much for joining me on this gentle adventure. I loved having you here, and I hope your heart feels warm and calm. Now it's time to rest, to let your thoughts slow down and your dreams begin. Close your eyes, little dreamer. Let the night wrap around you like a soft, cozy blanket. Sleep deeply, sleep peacefully, and know that you're safe, loved, and never alone. We'll meet again very soon in the land of stars and dreams.